Or Pastor Butch asked me to do an hour. He's a genius of understanding not only the spiritual side, but the geopolitical. And like I am, I'm in a panic city major freakout by what I see coming. In fact, I got a call on Wednesday from one of my CIA contacts. They're getting ready to chip the U.S. population next year. Did you know that? They have handed over the biometrics for the Department of Homeland Security to Amazon, their tech squad. Did you know that?
It is amazing. It's coming fast.
Things are going to get really ugly real fast, and that's why they're going to make the excuse of, the economy crashed, because after it crashes like a controlled demolition of the World Trade Center, they're going to resurrect it. It's called the mark of the beast. Digital monitoring everything you buy and sell, but also, like Minority Report, the thoughts of your intentions of your heart, because they want to insert ideas into your head, just like the movie The Matrix. They want to be able to cybernetically monitor you so that they can get you for the danger of pre-crime. You can see it with the woke movement, how crazy these people are. And to be honest with you, when I see these Democrats and Rhino Republicans, and when I hear them, Nancy Pelosi saying she's prayerful, I didn't know Satanists pray. They prey on us, but it's P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y, isn't it? They prey on us. What do you think?
Well, I suppose they had their own gods. Satan, of course, being the main god.
Right.
And they do appeal to him for power and influence, and he gives it. And that's the part that the Christians should be able to see through. The Church in America should be able to see that and counteract. But the Church in America as a whole is about useless as tits on a boar hog. They're just hanging around doing nothing.
Do you know why that is? And I realize this, and that's why I respect you. You're a pastor, Pastor Butch Paugh, but you're more than a pastor. You have an apostolic and a prophetic calling. The reason is you see clearly God's will is being thwarted by mankind on earth. You see clearly that the church is apostate right now. The great apostasy is not only on our doors, it's been there in smoldering years right from the time of the 3rd century was taken over by the Roman Catholic Jesuits to the only partial withdrawal by even the Protestant churches. And they don't want to have people like you and I, which have an apostolic or prophetic calling. They want us to come under the authority of their local church leaders, so we won't say something that'll upset their flock, so they'll lose tithes and offerings, and they'll not be able to buy thick carpets or bigger buildings. I think that what I see the real church, the real, you want to call it the collective of saved people, are primarily people that don't go to church. They listen to programs like yours and mine, and they pray and they read their Bible, and are very fearful of what they see coming on the earth, including America especially, because if America goes down the toilet, the whole world will suffer. Because we are the prescient superpower, not only in every area. Climate control, cybernetics, artificial intelligence, there's nobody even close. People think they are close. They don't have any conception. And the problem is, even under Trump, when he's trying to do some things, and I'm very suspicious of Trump. I'm trying to get through. In fact, I got a contact message from Dr. Bob Goldman. I'm going to get a chance to talk to the man. Now, you have to understand, Trump may be, on the surface, well-intentioned. He's pro-life. He believes in multiple religions and freedom and all this stuff. But the fact is, he's pushing 5G network. He's allowing Islam to continue to fester in America without monitoring all of these mosques that are pushing Wahhabism. We have 10,600,000 Muslims. That 20% of them would do violence against fellow Americans by their own internal polls, and 52% would support Sharia law that would completely obviate our state and federal laws. People need to understand that Trump's doing some good things, but he's completely devoid because of either lack of knowledge or someone's massaged his ego because he operates the presidency like he's a game show host. Now, the Democrats and the Rhino Republicans are just vile. The Democrats right now, their operation is insane. I mean, they don't even slather it up to make it look nice, like putting, as they say, lipstick on a pig. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, it is, but when you see their goals, and they no longer hide their goals. They're a communist. They're out and out communist, and they're anti-Christ.
Right.
They are anti anything moral in this country today. People don't want to admit this, Dr. Bill, but when a nation loses its morals, it loses everything. That ties everything together. I don't care whether it be political or financial. Without morality, a society cannot exist.
The seed of morality comes from, and this is the origins of, like, the roots of a plant. Morality comes from, first thing is subservient your ego to the ego and the will of the Most High God. Read the Bible and pray. Number two, you can't do good without doing God. And the people, even smart people that do what's right in their own eyes, like some of these academics that were speaking against Donald Trump on the so-called hearing, which is just a star chamber, these people are academic blithering idiots. They have a negative IQ. They don't have a positive IQ. And I don't like the term intelligence quotient anyway. I believe I call it the CQ, your curiosity quotient. If you're truly a believer, you empty yourself both intellectually and spiritually and subserve to God to find out whether it's scientific truth or spiritual truth, because the only source of truth is God. Whether it's about time, space, or planets or anything, or spiritual truth. You have, for example, when a baby's conceived at the moment of conception, it's a human. It's not it's not a bug or it's a fetus. Fetus just means small human. And when someone says, well, when they abort, what do? Well, it's called jigsaw babies. If you don't put all the body parts back together, arms, legs, head, skull, the mother's going to bleed to death or die of infection. So when somebody tries to say they support abortion, why don't they say, like Barack Obama did when he was in Illinois, he supported postnatal abortion up to 3 years of age. If you talk to some of these people, like this governor, this Virginia governor, who's actually a doctor, the idiot, a liar, and you got to remember that I was told this even before I went into medicine almost 50 years ago, that doctors are more likely to be serial killers than any other group on earth. That they're 11 times more likely to be a serial killer to be an MD or DO. Do you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. I want to make one more.
I've seen it, though. I've seen it.
I'll make one more comment about the church of the day. We call it the church.
Right.
And I was guilty of this for years until the Lord showed me something. We have a lot of churches that teach greasy grace, easy believism.
Yeah, I know.
You're saved, repeat the prayer. But I want to tell you this, folks. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. Unless there's been a change in you from the inside out, if you have not been reborn and become a new creature, a baby in Christ, and once you're born as a baby in Christ, if you do not desire the sincere milk of the Word, you're not born again. A baby's first notion after it's born, basically, it's a search for his mother's breast. I mean, they're hungry. That's a newborn child. It must eat or die. And I'm telling you this, people, there's so many people out there that think they're saved just because they go to some church that was repeat the prayer and get baptized, you're saved. No. If it's not a change, you're not saved.
Right. And by the way, it's a constant thing. Even in the scriptures, you'll see it. Paul said, and Peter and so on, they all said, you have to persist to the end. I mean, if I turn into evil, God said, like he said to me when I was 8.5 at the threshold of heaven, do you want to go back to Eagle? And he'd show me all these things. I said, well, I said, well, I love you so much, God, I'll go back to try to witness to the other people on earth. And he said, now if you sin and do evil in my sight, I will annihilate you. It didn't say you're going to go to hell. I will destroy you. And I said, I love you so much, God, I will go back, despite the danger of losing my position and place with you in eternity. And he cried and he said, not since your ancestor Moshe has anyone said that to me. And for this reason, not if, but when you fall away, I will shake your ugly human carcass and make you a son again. And then he raised his hand, all of a sudden, down the tunnel of light, and then the surgeons are slapping the ether mask on my face, and I woke up 18 hours later with blood going in both arms. I'm going to tell you, people, being a Christian is not easy milk and cookie stuff. It's Delta Force. You have to submit to God. You have to be completely changed. You have to realize you cannot do good unless you do God. You can't. Anybody who says otherwise and think, well, you can be a good Muslim or a good, there's nicer people than me going to hell. How's that? On the surface, they do good works, they give money, they do lots of stuff, but they also do evil, and they think good works, like Masons, wipe away evil. That's why they call it Kol Nidra inside
Dr. Bill, many, and this is Matthew chapter 7, Christ himself said, many will cry, Lord, Lord. And they're sincere. They're not fakes. They really think they're saved. They said, well, look what we've done for you. We've fed the hungry. We've housed the poor, and
have we not cast out demons in your name? Have we not healed in your name? Have
exactly. We've done all these things, but God, Christ said, I never knew you. Now, these people were sincerely thought they were born again. They thought they were saved.
You know what I tell people?
They were not changed.
You know what I tell people to make it real clear? You don't go to heaven. You have a heavenly relationship today while your body's still alive on the physical earth, living in this temporal realm of evil. And when the body drops away and you, quote, die physically, the soul has always been in heaven. I'm already in heaven when I have a heavenly relationship. I don't have to go anywhere. You don't go to heaven. The heavenly position starts when you start searing and doing God's will. And if you step away, you're not saved once saved, always saved. If I decide to become evil and go from Anakin Skydeagle to Darth Deagle, God will justifiably destroy me. Right. Well, no. You can be in a position of salvation, but salvation is not permanent unless you continue to persist with God. And people need to know that, because the churches are teaching this foolishness that once saved, always saved. And I believe people can actually be in a position of salvation, and externally and even internally, then they actually get perverted somehow. God knows how it happens. I don't know. And it's only between us and God that would actually know that. But I can tell you, there's lots of good examples of people that were doing good. And you'd say, look, that was a very saved person, and you find out more later.
Well, one of the mentioned in the Bible, Demas is in the Bible. He did the same thing. He turned back.
Right. Which one is that now?
Demas.
How do you spell
Demas? Yeah, Demas. Remember about Paul wrote about him, and he said he loved the present world more than he loved Christ. But he was following Paul. He was out ministering to people. He was preaching the gospel, and he turned back.
Right. How do you spell his last name? His name.
His name is Demas.
Bemis, Bemas, yeah.
No,
so people
like
understand this is one of the greatest lies of the so-called church, that you never were saved in the first place. No. If I turn away from God, God made this very plain to me, that when he turned me back, it's a position you have to stay persistent to the last moment of when your last oxygen molecule leaves your mitochondria and you're physically dead, not just dead with no heartbeat, but your mitochondria and your cells are all gone and you're not coming back. Then eternity is now, as you say, eternity starts the day you serve God here on earth. It doesn't start when your body dies and you go to heaven. If you don't have a heavenly relationship now, you're not going to have one when the body drops away, right?
True. Very true.
Now, why is that important? It's important because when I hear somebody like Nancy Pelosi saying she's prayerful, this is a very deluded woman. By the way, I have to pray for these people because they're indwelt, and this is something where it gets into the politics. I've got what's called second sight from having multiple, near deaths and God resurrecting me. Nancy Pelosi is indwelt by demonic entities. Our leaders, like Hillary Clinton, a lot of them are wizards, like the Rodham family that are Hillary Clinton's parents. These are damned evil people that actually indwelt transdimensional entities into their own children. In fact, the most evil thing you can do and get most power isn't killing people or doing even financial deals. It's cursing your own bloodline, your own cell line of your descendants, your children. That's how evil these high-level Masons are. They'll curse their own bloodline to gain power. Crazy, hey?
Yeah, it is. It is. But all sacrifices, like that's been going on for thousands of years. People sacrifice their children to Satan for authority and power in his kingdom. And people don't understand that Satan has a kingdom. He really is a king. He's a king. He's a prince of the power of the air. He has minions under him. He has demons under him that follow his orders. He is a king, and he has a kingdom.
Yeah, well, they want to underestimate him. The most the most intelligent created being in the universe is Lucifer. Now, our human intelligence, when we're indwelt by the Spirit of God, is superior to that, because God in us is an eternal being. In fact, he's actually fused his eternality with our spirituality. And we already start and enter eternality when we serve God on earth. We're no longer just a temporal being. We're also living in a higher realm. And people need to know that Satan's terrified of the fact our destiny is when he returns to the marriage supper, we will become the bride collectively, not individually like the Mormons. Collectively, we'll become the bride of God.
Satan hates all creation, but he hates Christians more than him because we oppose him.
Not only that, because our destiny is that we'll be co-equal with God, because God will fuse with us, we'll be the bride of the Creator. That's what he's really angry over. And he's going to get annihilated.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritional nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Legacy Emergency Foods is the top recommendation from Dr. Bill Deagle for the lowest oxygen concentration, the largest entrees, the highest amount of protein, the most varied entrees as well, and the longest food storage life. Nothing like Legacy Emergency Foods, and if you place a regular monthly order, you get 20% off and free shipping. Do get Emergency Foods for your supply for preparation, and get it from Legacy Foods. Contact Dr. Bill Deagle for the link at NutriMedical.com. Go to the Shop by Products link and drop-down message at NutriMedical.com, and then place your orders for regular emergency food for yourself and your family. Nothing like emergency food if the power goes out and you can't go to grocery stores, or if there's an emergency or a national crisis. So NutriMedical.com, top recommendation, Legacy Foods. NutriMedical.com, go to the Shop by Products and drop-down menu, and stay well with NutriMedical every day of your life. Lumen photon therapy, infrared light, far and near infrared, is extremely important for pain control, stimulation of nitric oxide, improved perfusion, and stem cell activation and reduction of cytokines. Dr. Bill uses it for pain control, for regeneration techniques, for organ regeneration, and for stimulation of your stem cell activity. This amazing lumen photon therapy this year will probably have an additional device with frequency therapy during the on phase of the lights. To obtain a lumen photon machine, contact Dr. Bill at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. He'll prescribe it with you providing nutraceuticals to help with your regeneration, healing, and pain control. Nothing like the lumen photon therapy for easy therapy for your eyes, your pain, your joints, regeneration of organs, detoxification of the body. Get a lumen photon machine from Dr. Bill Deagle, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well with NutriMedical. The Sonic Life Machine is one of the most amazing therapies that Dr. Bill provides. It is the best sine wave exercise machine on the planet, doing whole body vibration, opening up the muscle to reduce insulin resistance, improve perfusion, release stem cell therapies throughout the body, and epigenetically stimulate the body to release DNA activated. The epigenetic therapy with the sine wave curve of frequencies given for atomic resonance by Linus Pauling for minerals and amino acids stimulates the production of messenger RNA to correct structural protein enzyme deficiency for almost every illness. There's nothing like the sine wave therapy for improving body healing for exercise, but also the epigenetic treatments Dr. Bill can provide can help neutralize frequencies for disease states and illness. Get a Sonic Life machine through Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com. Contact us at NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871, or go to the website NutriMedical and give us a contact. Dr. Bill is available to help you get well with NutriMedical.
Need a powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens? Allicin Med is the powerful universal pathogen killer's latest advance of German-sourced allicin, enzymatically stabilized to clear the body of bacteria, fungi, mycobacteria, and parasites. It penetrates body biofilms and is non-toxic to tissues. Pathogen resistance cannot develop for long-term body-optimized wellness. Clear stealth pathogens that promote autoimmune disease, cancer, and vascular inflammation and plaque and promote healing of tissues. Now pathogen-free. With 200 milligrams more power than prior Alamed, you can't get a more powerful ally to fight daily bugs and serious pathogens. Give your body what it needs. Allicin Med. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. That's 1-888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com. And listen to the NutriMedical Report on the Genesis Radio Network with open lines every weekday. NutriMedical.com, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Pastor Butch, we talked about this. America is on the knife's edge, for example. We talked about a couple of really scary things that are going to happen here shortly in 2020. When I see the comments by the Democrats and the Rhino Republicans that are stabbing Trump in the back, and Trump's not perfect. I know his father was a high-level Scottish Rite Mason. I don't know if Trump is. I see all the evidence. In fact, I've got some pretty good evidence that he is a what I call, in the words of the folks on the family and the other people that he's kind of affiliated with in Colorado Springs, and I actually worked with him for several years. People have to understand this. Trump is a excellent, we call baby or pre-Christian. They call baby Christian. By baby Christian meaning he's ready to start receiving the will of God, which is why he's pro-life now. I don't know if he was all the time. He's definitely pro-America. He knows it's biblical principles that allow the Constitution to exist. You can't have this. I see some Democrats talking on Fox News, for example, saying you can have a constitutional republic without God. That's not possible. It's like mathematics. You cannot have a constitutional republic where the rights come from our Creator through us to our elected officials. Every other nation on earth, the authority comes from a king or an emperor or a global control bunch of freaks. Well, it doesn't come from the Creator God, right?
No, it doesn't come from government. It doesn't come from the Constitution. It doesn't come from the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights Constitution cannot save this country. If they could have, we would still been a decent nation. But we lost our moral compass. And without morality, no one can be self-governing.
Exactly.
Without self-governing, then somebody has to govern us. And I want to say this, too. God does not give us rights. I want to make that very clear.
No, exactly.
He doesn't give us rights. He gives us duties. We obey him, then he gives us blessings. So we had we'll call it the privilege, a gift from God to keep and bear arms. And it's written in constitutions that we have this right. And I understand what they're saying. But it's a duty. It's a duty, scripturally. I can prove this in Exodus 20.
It's a duty to protect yourself and your family, right?
Exactly. That in Exodus and of course the war book, we're talking about Numbers, the war book, he told everybody in Israel a certain age to be armed. In Nehemiah chapter 4, Luke 22:36, Christ told his disciples, of which I am one, you carry a sidearm. So I do carry a sidearm. If you see me out in public, you will know that I got a gun on me somewhere. That's my duty as a duty. I didn't say right. My duty as a servant of God to obey him. And as long as we obey him, we'll be able to function as we would think as Americans should be. But because we disobeyed him, we're losing these blessings every day.
Well, here's where I see the attack. The attack is they're not going to come getting your guns. They tried about 4 years ago in New York, and the SWAT team met with the governor in New York because they already passed a law to try to seize guns from vets that had PTSD and other problems. In fact, I've had an attorney on my show for years here in California that actually tried to defend at least 250,000 veterans have had their rights to even not only buy ammo and guns taken away because they had PTSD or depression when they came back from tours of duty. What we have to understand is they want to have, say, Walmart or credit card companies seize your ability to get ammo. The real issue isn't taking away your guns, it's taking away your ammo. And not only that, we have non-gun technology. I posted up a lot of it in my wellness conditions, how to make a linear accelerator too with ball bearings and other technology. I'm going to release more non-lethal technologies that you can have that will completely neutralize anybody trying to harm you. Okay, I don't want to put lethal out there, but these other ones like the ball bearing accelerator and other types of weapons, they're a lot more lethal than guns. They can go right to a body armor level 3 or a Bearcat like it's butter. You have to understand that we have to defend ourselves because these people do want to shuttle us off in cattle cars for execution. Do you know they actually have through the California here, they actually brought in from China over the last 30 years, they've been bringing in guillotine machines made in China to execute Americans.
Oh, yes, that's true, yes.
Did you know that? Did you know they actually made guns here, AK-47s and others, and they got giant caches of weapons to kill us, and they've got right now the capacity to store over 20 million Americans in these civil detention camps, not only above ground, but underground. They're getting ready, people. If you don't think so, I actually got the plans from the post office and from Walmart, believe it or not, where the government's trying to take them over and make them as civil, what's called triage areas, where, you know, the old story about the red, green, and blue guys. Red, you're dead, green, whatever. You have to understand the powers that be are neither Democrat nor Republican. They're Luciferic. And they're moving forward step by step by step. And when they blow up the economy, which I think is on the plan for 2020, they want to replace it with the mark of the beast. 5G network, 6G network, tracking chips, all the whole damn thing. And you think we're making it up? Stop thinking. Start praying. because it's no longer open for dispute. You might want to. It's now in the open media. It's now in the open media. You can't say, well, Dr. Deagle, you're crazy 21 years ago. No. Listen and pray, repent, and then take action. Get yourself self-defense. Get yourself backup electricity. Get yourself talking to your neighbors about prepping. Be ready for the fact you got to get away from a large city. Don't be downwind of a nuclear reactor within 100 miles. Don't be within 25 miles of a fault zone in the West Coast or 100 miles on the East Coast. Do realize that you need to start maybe becoming a member of the local sheriff's office to actually become part of a recruit of a civil detention if you want a group of people, and start doing actually war games. The best place is with the sheriff. Just contact the sheriff's office and actually be properly trained and integrated to take care of things when things get nuts, because they're going to get nuts, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They already are. They already are.
No, I mean, they're going to get real nuts. Imagine climate change things going haywire. It's not going to be due to carbon dioxide from humans passing gas or ruminating animals. They're manipulating the weather. I talk about the specifics because I took care of people in U.S. Space Command, and they put up nanoparticle thorium, strontium, barium, aluminum, and torsion field lower satellites to control the weather. 5 nations can control the weather. We and the Russians are the most advanced. And the people doing this, like, have you ever heard of Operation Scopex? I spent the entire evening in 97 with a physicist, Dr. Isley, who founded the World Constitution Parliament Association because he knew my security clearance. He did a data dump of all the stuff that they're planning on doing, which Mike Adams talked about in the last Gen 6 conference. You got to understand, people, they're trying to reduce the carbon dioxide, which is you. You're a carbon-based unit. And if you think we're making this up, you're an idiot and you're going to die fast, just like Die Hard. You got to stop thinking, oh, well, I think Deagle knows everything. I don't know everything. I got a few 6x5 cards that God says, thus saith the Lord. It's not my opinion. And believe me, he's put me through hell to find out. This is not funny, is it?
No, it's not.
Not funny. And people think being a Christian is easy. Are you nuts? If you're a real believer, the devil's going to come after your carcass, whether he's going to get you financially, health-wise. I mean, even directed energy weapons. I had an NSA agent 26 years ago who said, hey, Deagle, come on to the parking lot. I said, why? He says, I'm going to show you something. I said, well, I thought you were retired. He said, no. He popped the trunk. And I said, what the hell is that? He said, it's a sat phone. I said, you mean they can always get a hold of you? Yeah. He said, but you know, they used to retire you back in the 70s with double tapping. I said, well, that's like, sounds like Fred Astaire. He said, no. That's 2 20 caliber bullets to the forehead and left ventricle. I said, you're kidding. I said, why? 22 says no exit wound. I said,
that's
ooh.
Right.
So I said, so what do they do now since the mid-1970s? A directed energy weapon or do? Now, you got to understand, Deagle is an expert on directed energy weapons. Not only that, I was trained under a bioweaponeer in 1972, Dr. Robert Brown, so I know how to make the deadliest weapons in history, and I'm not going to damn well do it. But people who want to say they want to argue with Dr. Deagle, please come into my cage match. If you have enough intellectual cojones, as they say in Hispanic, call my show live, 818-818-6401, and I'm going to give you the intellectual beating of your life. Not because I hate you, it's because I love you. I will die for you, but I will not lie for you. How's that?
Very nice.
I will serve the Most High God till the last oxygen molecule leaves my mitochondria. And damn it, you're going to hear what I have to say, like my ancestor Moshe, because I'm not going to back off and be nice or shut up and let my guest speak when I have to tell you I'm driven by an absolute panic of what I see coming next year. Panic. And I see poor Trump. I mean, that man's not perfect, but we need to support him. We need to talk to him. I have a breakthrough. If I can get through that man, and I have people like Pastor Butch, Paugh, and John W. Springs, a whistleblower in 1983 on nukes, and other real believers, we can make this man the greatest leader in American history, the greatest leader of any nation since King David, after he repented of killing Uriah and taking his wife Bathsheba to have Solomon. You got to understand, people, this is the end of the game. This is not a rehearsal. This is the end of the age of humanity under secular Luciferic control. It's it. This is not a warm-up. This is the big show, isn't it?
That's right. This is not a practice run. We don't get to do it again. This is it.
No. This is it. And it's the most horrifying time in history. Right now, people, we're going to get a 7-year warning. They're going to build a temple. Look, I've had experts on my show. If they build a temple, it's called the abomination that desolates. The temple is us. We're the temple of Yeshua. Our bodies, our souls are the temple. It's not a building out there where they're going to start an animal sacrifice in Jerusalem. If they build a temple, it will be the abomination that desolates. What do you think of that?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And people do you want to argue with Deagle? I said, please. I'll give you scripture. I'll give you facts. I'll give you classified information. I want you to understand this, people out there. You think you want to argue with me? Please. I beg you to argue with me. I will eventually twist your intellect so you understand I'm subservient to the Most High God, and I'm going to give you truth to save your carcass. I'm like a firefighter on a big ladder trying to pull you out of a burning building through a window, and you're trying to pull the Scott air pack off me. Well, I'm trying to save you so I won't die of the smoke inhalation like you are. Please listen. For God's sake, don't say, well, and the same thing with health care. I hear people say, well, they want to take and give us health care through socialism. Yeah, they want to take a broken system that kills you and your mama and give it to everybody and bankrupt the country. Are you kidding? And by the way, this social system in other countries needs to be reformed. I would have a value-added tax would go to the county. Nobody would be, doctors and everybody would be paid health, hourly wage. We'd have a system set up so that everybody get preventive care. Nobody go bankrupt at the end of their life because even if they have insurance, they go bankrupt. No one having to getting a lethal injection like the insurance carriers are allowed now under the Health and Human Services to spread out insurance where, we could give you another 16 months, but no, we're going to offer you a lethal injection. I have doctor colleagues calling me in panic about this every day, every month. It's ridiculous. And if you don't understand this is going on right on your nose, and it's worse in socialist countries like Canada and Britain, they don't even go to committee. They just kill you, mama. They just give them a lethal injection. If you think I'm making this up, it's not open to your damned opinion. You might have an attitude. I have an opinion. It's based on facts, evidence, logic, and painful experiences. It's not open to your damned opinion. How's that?
Well, obviously, if they have eyes to see at all, if they have any kind of spiritual enlightenment, they can see this already.
Well, some people want to argue. They think like Nancy Pelosi and these idiots are lying right to your face, and they screw up their face and thinking, you got to believe me. I'm thinking, the words out of your mouth are luciferic words of destruction and suicide. What do they want to do, suicide America and have us basically subserve to world government and kill much of our citizenry because we're carbon-based units? They want to push up this green agenda, which is total BS. I'm an environmentalist, and God says in Revelation 11:18, I shall return to destroy those that destroy the earth. I know how to fix it. I don't just have ideas. God has given me the inspiration to know how to fix every problem on earth that mankind has. God has given me a solution. Healthcare, the environment, economies, life extension. God is giving me those answers, not because I'm wonderful, but because I'm subservient. Because I'm willing to do His will to the moment of my death, which may be real soon, because believe me, the devil's tried to take Deagle out a bunch of times, and he's had to resurrect me. All right?
Well,
you need to understand this, how desperate I am in this. Right?
The sad part, Dr. Bill, that we as a nation, the world actually, but we're talking about America now.
Right.
We as American people have become servants to our new God. And we'll call it government if you want to call it that, because after all, they feed us and clothe us and house us. They give us Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. So we don't want to bite the hand that feeds us. So we will obey what the preachers say about Romans 13, because that they take that one verse out there and we bow down and kiss the feet of Caesar.
Well, let me give you an interesting fact. You know that if you look at the scriptures, the birth date of Jesus was exactly 6 months off from the birth date of John the Baptist, which was born basically on the Passover. So we know that he was in the fall feast. Jesus was not born at Christmas.
That's
you know
right.
why they have the Christmas date? It's because of the birth of Osiris, the god of the underworld, which is the third name for Lucifer.
It comes from the Catholic Babylonian teaching, yes.
Right. The Catholic Babylonian, you got to understand the hat on the mitre on the top of the Pope's head is a Draco-reptilian hat of Draco-reptilian amphibious reptiles from the star system Orion. They're the ones that are indwelling a lot of our world leaders right now, and they're running our earth through the Druidic Council of 13. If you don't want to believe this, the Jesuits run the banking system, you're an idiot. And we're going to suffer for it if you don't wake up.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Red Deer Velvet DR is an amazing new product with a patent to preserve 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones, the same as fetal life, where you don't age at all. The state of fetal life allows the 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones produced by the placenta to be supportive of the regeneration of tissues and organs, with maximum apoptosis, changing the tissue and organ structure of a fetus. That's why if fetal surgery is performed, there is no scar. Taking 2 to 3 capsules twice a day with oncomycin, myco-D2, provides an amazing support for regeneration of any tissue and organ in the body, and even advanced stem cell therapy support treatment. Do get NutriMedical's Red Deer Velvet DR from Dr. Bill Deagle at NutriMedical.com, NutriMedical.com, 888-212-8871. Stay well and stay young with NutriMedical. Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Deagle, MD, AAEM, ACAM, A4M, of NutriMedical.com, and a consultant providing email advice free on advanced protocols for your optimized wellness and advanced technologies to heal and regenerate you. You can contact us at NutriMedical.com, that's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. You get free email starter protocols of our top medical-grade nutraceuticals, initial testing, and recommendations for your own primary doctor to do, as well as recommendations to give you an idea of a consultation and a full protocol to try to help you regenerate your tissues, heal naturally without the use of toxic polypharmacy. I can send test kits to you as well anywhere in the world and provide you recommendations to referral of specialty clinics worldwide. So contact me, Dr. Bill Deagle, at NutriMedical.com. That's NutriMedical.com, or 888-212-8871. At NutriMedical.com, we have the most amazing drinks with the best mouthfeel, highest quality bionutrient exposure to your body to heal and regenerate, and the most powerful persistence of nutrients to heal your body dramatically. We have Ageless, which makes you age less, which repairs your DNA, extends your telomeres, etc. We have Life Support that detoxes phase 2 detox pathways, glucuronidation, sulfation, and methylation pathway support. We have Glycemics that blocks the carbohydrate absorption and helps with diabetes or weight loss, and as well helps with people that are trying to build up muscle, using things like our special formulas from Dr. Wolf called Mega Muscles between meals along with Sports Energy Light. We have the amazing Nutri-Complete, the most complete red and greens drink in the world, with the best mouthfeel and flavor. You can often mix it too with Vitamin Mineral Mix, which is our fruit-flavored mixed power of vitamin minerals. Stay well with NutriMedical every day.
I remember when I lost my mind.
And welcome back. Actually, Pastor Butch, we talked about trying to get enough finances to be able to support your expansion of your work, because your word and your shows are very unique. How do they get to listen to your programs?
Well, there's several ways. We're on. Matter of fact, starting Monday night, we'll be starting on 5 more stations from Tucson to Louisiana to Mississippi. But they can listen easily if they go to GS Radio. That stands for Global Star. GSRadio.net. You'll find on there where it says Listen Live. Click on Listen Live. You'll find star 1, star 3, and star 5. That means satellites. Under star 5, if you click on where it says Pop-Up Player at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I'll be there. They can listen on the phone if you like, live on the phone, if they just dial this number, 712-770-9418. That's 712.
Okay, can you send me all the tech information you just said on air? And I'll post that text in the body of today's show. That way people can actually...
Sure, okay, I'll send it to you.
If you send it all to me now... Yeah.
I'll send it out to
Now-
you. 717-77, I'm sorry, 712-770-9418, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. But like I said, we're on several stations across country. We're on shortwave on 6115 and at 8 o'clock Eastern,
Right.
11 o'clock a repeat at 3215. But nonetheless, we're there. And if you go to YouTube, type in Pastor Butch Paugh, P-A-U-G-H, you'll find hundreds of hours of teachings I've done on. It's all over the internet.
You know how in the Bible it says, my people perish for lack of vision? God has given us, through very hard times and through rough things, but we've been with the Lord, His vision. It's got to be our vision, it has to be His.
That's
But
right.
the Lord has given me two sides to this, okay?
Okay.
First thing is that God has promised me that He's going to give me the treatments and cures and life extension for the human race, because one of the end time signs is, though a man or woman dies at 100, it will be the years of a child when Jesus returns, when Yeshua returns. Our population's getting sicker, more sterile, and their IQs are dropping. These are the plans of the devil, right? To even get rid of us, 90% of the population.
Right. Absolutely. And you stop and think, Dr. Bill, this, of course, we've murdered well over 100 million unborn babies in this country already. They say 70, I say over 100 million.
Well, actually, if you talk about what we sponsored and paid for, do you know what the number is right now?
What is it?
1.5 billion. So if you actually started in the Arctic Circle and went all the way to the tip of South America, there wouldn't be one individual alive. That's how many people we've killed.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. But it's all part of the Luciferian plan. You know, he hates anything God has touched, and he hates his supreme creation, us, and he wants to destroy us any way possible, and he's doing it in many different ways.
Well, the first thing is, if God wants you to be able to have a healthy relationship with you spiritually, you have to have a healthy body. For example, people are seeing 5G network. They don't realize, in fact, Mike Adams put up an article, but I'm an expert on 5G. He creates a thing called e-toxins. Dirty electricity does, smart grid does. These make people violent and crazy and also drug addicted. Part of the reason for the opiate addiction is what's called physical pain is one part, then we call biochemical and e-toxin pain from toxic electromagnetic radiation, and finally spiritual pain. People are living in a hopeless world where they've been taught fake religion, and they don't really have any real spiritual hope. So those three areas are causing a hopeless society. And where we're going on this is the globalists want to get rid of 90% of the population. It's in the global Georgia Guidestones, it's in the World Watch Institute, it's in all kinds of documents, because Masons, one thing they tell you is they have to broadcast live, even for decades or centuries, what their plans are, and then if you don't understand their plans, you're a willing victim, okay? So, number one, I have the best nutraceuticals and technology to give your health back, because if your brain and your body aren't clear of toxins, it's very hard for you to have a higher spiritual relationship to God, because you're toxic, right? Not getting sleep, you're sick.
Yeah, and people don't understand how difficult it is to keep your mind and brain clear today. Everything you touch, smell.
Well, I have the technology all the way from the best supplements and the best technology. The second thing is, we have to start realizing we either have to put our pastors and our leaders, our political leaders, back into a spiritual straitjacket. If they don't serve God, and we're seeing a partial kind of attempt by Trump to say he's going to do this and that, but as I say, he's a baby Christian. He's surrounded by people like John Lightning Bolt and Pompeo and others, and globalists and rhinos on the right. And then he's got the right out of your demonic, I call the demon rats, the same term as Judge Pirro. And so our nation is on the cutting edge of judgment. Now, I'm going to tell you, on October 10th, 1993, I'm praying face down in my bedroom in Enfield, Nova Scotia, and God said, this is after I received clay and iron and abortion at Armageddon, supernaturally by God dictating them to me. And he said, he sent me live while I'm wide awake, a visitation by the angel Gabriel to bring me to the city from which the mark of the beast would come. 9 months to the day after I got security clearance, I walked through the same facilities underground and elsewhere, taught the same technology as the angel brought me 9 months to the day earlier. We are in so much trouble, and America is not a righteous nation. Most would say, America's always right. No. We have done many good works around the world, like Masons. We've done probably more good works than anybody, but we also have done more evil. We created ISIS. We created Al-Qaeda. We demolished the World Trade Center. We create super plagues in our things there. We release things like Lyme disease as a super plague. Do you know that was released from Plum Island?
Yes, it was.
People need to start grasping here we're doers of good and evil. And America's done more good and more evil than anybody else in modern history.
That's true.
We are the modern Atlantis that was prophesied by Sir Francis Bacon 5 centuries ago by the illegitimate son of Queen Elizabeth I. A genius with an IQ 200 wrote an encrypted document called the Voynich document. If you don't understand these things, these high-level Masons are not average intelligence. They're super geniuses, but they're evil as hell. And they're wizards. I went and I tried to ask a Jewish rabbi to teach me Hebrew 28 years ago. And he said, because you're a Kohanim, I'm going to tell you straight, you Christians are idiots. I said, what do you mean? He says, there's no such thing as Judeo-Christianity. We're wizards.
Amen.
We summon demons. I said, you're kidding. He said, no, even Solomon, it says in our books and our rabbis, written by the rabbis, the Temple of Solomon was built by demons, not by man. Did you know that? They preach this.
Wow.
If you read the Sephirot Zaira, I bet you haven't read it yet, or
No,
the
I
Talmud
haven't.
of Babylon, oh my God. And if you think these people could defend, that's why a lot of the Jews become atheists or agnostics, because they know it's so vile, they can't even think about it.
Wow. That's amazing.
Okay? You don't understand. 1,300 years in Babylon made them totally druidic Satanists. So the word Jew means praiser. They're not praisers of God anymore, going around Jericho. They're praisers of Satan. That's why even the burial garb of the Pope when he dies looks identical to Santa Claus, because the birth date of Osiris coming from the underworld is the day of Christmas. Christmas is actually a modern incarnation of the ancient ceremony for the resurrection of Osiris from the god of the underworld, another name for Lucifer.
That's very true.
People need to know that. Why do we have Christmas on December 25th? The sun dances in the sky for 3 days and gets short. People did an animal and human sacrifice to get the sun to come back of their own children, so the sun would return on the day of Osiris. And in ancient time, by the Druids, they'd sacrifice their own babies. And of course, you look at Halloween. All Hallows Eve, they had a mugliv, which is not like a pumpkin, but later we used a pumpkin. And they take human wax from human bodies, melted down to wax. And they would go to your home, and if you didn't give a child over to be put in a wicker ceremony to be sacrificed so one of their children could come from the underworld and become a druidic child of the overclass that ran, say, through Europe, they'd curse your home and set a demon at your gate. People, oh no, they wouldn't do that. Most people don't know any history. They don't know any religious history. They don't know the infiltration of every faith on earth has been infiltrated by Satan, including even transhumanism. Well, my colleague Ron Klatz.
These customs we have so long, Dr. Bill, they feel right because we done them. We grew up doing them. Our parents did them.
Right.
So they got to be all right. But what did Christ say about their customs? Didn't he say that we made null and void by practicing our customs, the laws of God?
Now, I celebrate Christmas, but I have a full understanding of it. I know it's a Druidic ceremony, but I don't sacrifice it because I think it's Jesus' birth. Jesus is born at the Feast of Tabernacles, which is why you have a sukkah, and you actually build a sukkah outside there. But you know who the tabernacle is? We are the temple of the tabernacle. So that's why these feast days, it said everybody, nation will come down and sacrifice. It will come down to Jerusalem, not as a thing to say, okay, we want to build a temple and have animal sacrifice again. It's to realize that God is coming back for us as his bride. And people don't get that. They don't realize America's not repentant. I see apostate churches, apostate politicians. I see half-hearted attempts by even Trump. He does some good things and he does some evil things. And if people think he's going to solve all the problems if he doesn't get to talk to me and to people like you, Pastor Butch, Paugh, and people like John W. Spring to get the nukes out of Lower Chila Island, America has just been delaying the inevitable, which is the entry of the mark of the beast and the destruction of America with a thermonuclear war. If you think we're going to avoid it, if Trump gets reelected, no, we're not. We're just going to delay the inevitable, aren't we?
That's it.
If Trump doesn't get a full conversion experience to serve God to the last molecule, even in his mitochondria, and gets a full conversion, not a partial one, our nation is doomed. We are so close to judgment, it's unbelievable.
But the biggest problem we have is people in America, and that even in the churches, is a word that sticks in a cross called repentance. Without
Exactly.
repentance, you cannot come back to Him. The repentance doesn't mean that you're sorry you got caught. It means you're sorry you did it.
Well, no, it's more than that even. It's not just you're sorry you did it. It's I'm not going to do that because it
That's
offended
it. That's
you,
the whole
God.
point. Yes.
Because
yes,
people don't
yes.
understand is you can only sin against the Creator. You can't sin against mankind, nature, or anything else. The only one who can take away sin, even stealing a cookie, is God. You cannot take away sin with good works. Only when you turn your relationship back to God can He remove the sin. It's like, you need a sin surgeon. The sin surgeon is God, not us. He's got to extract the sin, the metastasis of skin inside our soul. And if you think that you can remove sin because you do good works, you're an idiot. Right?
That's right. Works will never accomplish anything. They'll be weighing the balance.
I got a term for you though. You laugh because you're a pastor. I call it hell insurance. They make people feel good, but you see, while they're rapping on the gate of heaven, their knuckles are on fire because it's a gate of hell.
I totally agree. It's sad, Dr. Bill. We've been deceived. I said we. That includes me. I'm still learning every day.
Oh, listen,
every day.
That's why the churches don't invite me. I've had millions of audience over the last 21 years now, talking on radio and television. No churches invite me to either come in an audio or put a video link. Free. I'll support even any ministry you want. No one's asked to go because they're terrified of me. Not because I'm a bad guy, but because I serve the Most High God, and I said to say, I will die for you out there, even if you're a doer of evil like Hillary Clinton. I'll die for you, Hillary, but I will not lie for you.
Amen.
And that
Amen.
frightens people that are partially sold out to God. And people don't understand, but they're trying to provide medical help so people get recovered from cancer and heart disease, which I can do now. Miraculous things with medicine, integrative care, and prayer, because God's the ultimate healer. I had one guy who called me, this is funny, before Christmas, a couple of Christmases ago, and he said, Deagle, I said, I thought you died. He said, no, it was a year earlier. God told me if I took your supplements, He was going to cure my cancer. I said, well, I recommend you also, besides the supplements, go for IPT cancer therapy. He said, no, God said just take your supplements. I said, I didn't know that you got phone service in heaven. And he laughed his head off. It was like 4 days before Christmas in 2018. You people have to understand is, I'm not the healer God is, but we're His servants. I'm the bait bucket guy. I'm not the fisherman. I carry the bait bucket for the Lord. And you do too.
Amen.
He's the fisherman, right?
That's right. Exactly right. So these are all things that we, as a nation, but definitely as Christians,
we haven't repented.
Daily.
I see not a micro fleck of repentance in this nation. I see them beating their chests of how patriotic we are. And then, of course, we pour more blood and money, like we made the deal with the Saudi Arabia and the Arabs back in the 70s to have our men and women die, like in this illegal Iraqi war where we had, thousands of our men blown to pieces and women and come back in pieces or kill themselves and their families. This is all a blood sacrifice to Lucifer, and there was no need for it at all, none. And we put our nation into massive debt, which is ready to bankrupt us, all because we're serving the dark side. And they don't want to talk about it, not even Trump now, that we did 9/11. He knew 2 days after he raised an issue, but not now, 18 years later. Right?
Right.
Repent, O America, for your day of judgment is here.
Which is most important because that was your